Cannes, a name that instantly brings to mind red carpets, flashing cameras, and movie stars. But as solo traveler, I discovered that there is so much more to the city than its glamorous reputation. Cannes has a soul, rich with art, history, sea air, and the kind of beauty that speaks softly, and if you are willing to listen. One of the first things that caught my eye here wasn't a celebrity or a boutique, it was the art on the walls. Literally all across the city, massive murals celebrate the history of cinema and the spirit of Cannes. And these murals of Cannes art are part of an open-air collection. There is a wall showing Charlie Chaplin, another with Marilyn Monroe, and even a massive tribute to classic films near the town hall. Walking from mural to mural feels like flipping through a living picture book once it turns corners and spans buildings. In the description box below, you will find a list of all the mural wall locations across Cannes, as well as the official link to stay updated with new artworks and special events. As I wandered through the city, I started to wonder about the name Cannes. I learned that it comes from the Latin word canna, meaning reed, like the ones that used to grow along its coastline. Long before the film festival and luxury hotels, this was a quiet fishing village. Over the centuries, it transformed, and that evolution is written into its buildings. You can see it in the architecture, from the ornate Belle Epoque facades to modern seaside villas. The Hôtel de Ville, or City Hall, stands proudly in the heart of Cannes, a symbol of that elegant past built in the late 19th century. It's stately but not cold, and there is something comforting in its old-world charm. Also not far from the heart of the city, I took time to visit the nearby islands. Just a short boat ride away, they feel like a world apart. Saint Marguerite, with its forested paths and peaceful coves, is famous for its fortress prison, once home to the mysterious man in the Iron Mask. And then there is also Ile Saint-Honorat, where monks have lived and made wine for centuries. These islands are calm, quiet, and full of stories, and being their soul made the experience even more meaningful. Back on the mainland, I found myself following the curve of the coastline. Cannes has about 15 kilometers of shoreline, golden beaches, winding promenades, and little harbors where the sea seems to whisper. It's easy to lose track of time here. There is always a bench of view or a breeze to make you pause and breathe. Of course, no visit to Cannes is complete without passing by the famous casino barrier and the legendary Carlton Hotel. The Carlton, with its white domes and elegant facade, has welcomed royalty, movie stars, and dreamers since 1911. Even just walking by its entrance feels cinematic. The streets of Cannes each have their own rhythm. The Croisette is iconic, a palm-lined stretch of beauty and luxury, but I also loved Rue d'Antibes for its lovely energy, and La Suquet, the old town, for its narrow streets and local charm. That's where you really feel the heartbeat of Cannes in its bakeries, its markets, and slow steps of people who live life unhurried. As a solo traveler who loves cinema, being a Cannes felt surreal. Beyond the festival seasons, the city still breathes cinema. There are smaller local cinemas like Cinéma, Cut, and Olympia, where you can catch a film with locals in French or sometimes with subtitles. And then there's the Palais de Festival. I found the famous handprints, celebrity impressions cast and in bronze and set into the ground. It's like walking across memories of 1,000 red carpets. About museums, here may not be massive, but they're rich with character. The Musée de la Castre. Above the old town in a medieval castle with sweeping views. Inside, there are artifacts from around the world. Proof that Cannes, despite its size, has always looked outward. When visiting Cannes, be sure to explore the Église Notre-Dame d'Espérance, a historical gem nestled in the old quartier of built in the 17th century. This stunning church combines Gothic and Renaissance styles and offers a breathtaking views over the city and the sea. Its name, meaning Our Lady of Hope, reflects the spiritual significance of hope and protection for the local community. Cannes was a simply fishing village with roots tracing back to Roman times, originally known as Aegina. The area was settled by the Ligurians and later influenced by Roman and Christian communities. The early village perched around the hill of Suquet and offered natural protection and a strategic view of the Mediterranean. In the 10th century, monks from the nearby Lérins islands, especially from the famous abbey of Lérins on Île Saint-Honorat, played a central role in shaping the region. They built fortifications and helped grow a small religious and agricultural community. The iconic Castre castle, built in the 11th century, still stands today as a reminder of this medieval chapter. For centuries, Cannes remained a quiet coastal town, surviving pirate raids and political struggles, including tensions between the monks and local lords. Cost of living in Cannes in 2025. Rent for one bedroom apartment in city center from 1,000 to 1,500 per month. Monthly expenses including groceries, transport 600 to 900. Also cappuccino by the beach, it's 3 to 5 euros, and also dinner for two mid-range restaurants from 30 to 80 euros. Cannes is more affordable than Paris, but still a luxurious destination, especially during festival season. And if you want to stay long term, consider exploring nearby towns like Antibes or Le Canet for lower rents. And what about food? Traveling alone never means dining lonely here. There are so many beautiful cafes and restaurants where you can take your time, enjoy a dish, and watch the world go by. As I left Cannes, I carried more than souvenirs. I carried the feeling of solo freedom, of discovering a city on my own terms. I realized that traveling alone doesn't mean being alone. It means being more open to people, places, and the quiet details you might miss otherwise. So, Cannes Festival and Events Calendar. Cannes Film Festival starts mid-May. Cannes Lions Creativity and Marketing Festival in June. International Series Festival in April. And Cannes Yachting Festival in September. Thank you for joining me on this journey. I hope you felt a bit of the breeze, the charm, and the quiet joy of exploring Cannes. Until the next adventure.